I'm telling you right now, Monday's General Hospital spoilers feel like something somebody was never supposed to leak. I don't think we're just watching another messy Port Charles day. I think we're watching the beginning of a shocking chain reaction where one syringe, one missing girl, and one terrified father could blow several lives apart before anyone even realizes the trap has already closed. And yes, I'm going there because if my theory is right, Drew may not be the only one fighting for survival. Jocelyn may be running out of time. Rocco may be forced out of town. And the fake Nathan secret could be closer than ever to being exposed. I want to start with Drew because this situation has turned from disturbing to downright chilling. Drew has been clinging to one tiny piece of hope. He knows the syringe contains sedatives, and if that injection doesn't happen, there's still a chance he can recover enough to fight back against Willow and Nina. That's the part that really gets me. Drew isn't just trapped physically. He's trapped in this horrifying space where his entire future depends on whether someone else decides to drug him again. And for a moment, I think Drew actually believes he might have a way out. But in true General Hospital fashion, hope never arrives without a knife behind its back, because it looks like Nina may circle back and finish what was started. I'm not saying this is confirmed, but the spoiler strongly suggests Drew's fear comes roaring back once Nina returns to that syringe. And if Nina does inject him, then I believe Drew loses more than consciousness. He loses leverage. He loses time. He loses the one chance he had to regain control. What makes this so gay sock, or let me say it properly, so shocking, is that Nina may be acting like she's doing this for survival. Not cruelty, not madness, survival. And that may be even more dangerous. Because after that, Nina has a conversation where she apparently says she needs to get rid of Brennan at all costs. That phrase changes everything for me. At all costs is not a casual statement. That is panic. That is desperation. That is someone realizing the walls are closing in and deciding morality is now negotiable. I think Nina sees Brennan as the one person holding the key to her destruction. If Brennan is blackmailing her and Willow, then Nina may believe the only way out is to erase the threat. But here's where I think the twist comes in. What if removing Brennan doesn't free Nina? What if it exposes her even faster? Because Brennan is not some random enemy. Brennan is calculated. Brennan always seems 2 steps ahead. If Nina and Willow think they can outplay him with a desperate plan, I think they may be walking straight into his backup trap. And if Valentine is waiting on Nina's update about this plan, then I have a bad feeling he may be dragged into the blast zone too. Valentine waiting for news from Nina tells me this is bigger than just one scheme. I think he's invested. I think he may believe there is a clean way to trap Brennan. But Port Charles has taught me one thing. Clean plans usually end in blood, betrayal, or both. And then there's Carly. Now this is where things get messy, in the best possible way. Valentine may also be helping Carly with a new plan, and I think that plan could connect directly to Jocelyn's disappearance. I don't want to say they definitely find her, because that would be too easy, but I do think Carly and Valentine may start putting the pieces together. Brennan, fake Nathan, Jocelyn, Rocco, none of these threads feel separate anymore. I think Carly may suspect Brennan, but I also think fake Nathan is becoming impossible to ignore, and once Carly starts digging, nobody stays hidden for long. That brings me to the part that honestly feels the most dangerous, Rocco. I believe Rocco may have to leave town, not because he wants to, not because he's guilty in the way people might assume. I think he may be forced to run because staying in Port Charles could get him killed. And that changes the entire question. This is no longer just about whether Rocco goes to prison. This is about whether Rocco survives long enough for Dante to protect him. The fake Nathan is in panic mode. That's how I see it. He's worried about being exposed, and if Cullum's attack connects back to Nathan covering up the truth about Rocco, then this whole secret is starting to crack. The fake Nathan has already crossed the line by attacking and kidnapping Jocelyn, and I think that means he is capable of going much further. My theory is that Jocelyn is the biggest loose end right now. She knows too much, or she is close to knowing too much. And if fake Nathan believes she can expose him, then I think he may decide he has to silence her permanently. That doesn't mean he succeeds, but it does mean Jocelyn may be in immediate danger. And Rocco, I think fake Nathan may push him out of town under the excuse of protecting him. But I don't think this is just about Rocco. I think it's also about protecting fake Nathan's own identity. If Rocco disappears, then Dante loses his best chance to connect the blood, the gun, and the truth. Which brings me to Liz and Dante. Liz may tell Dante what she has figured out, and I think this conversation could be one of the biggest emotional blows of the episode. Liz suspects Rocco shot Cullum because she treated the wound on Rocco's hand. That detail is huge. Dante already knows the blood on the gun wasn't Jason's, so when Liz lays out her theory, I think Dante is going to be shaken to his core, and I can't blame him. As a cop, Dante needs evidence. As a father, he wants his son safe. But those two roles may be about to collide in the worst way. If Dante needs Rocco's blood sample to compare it medically with the blood found on the gun, then he has to find Rocco first. And that may be the real heartbreak. By the time Dante realizes what he needs to do, Rocco may already be gone. That is the kind of twist General Hospital loves. The truth becomes clear only after the person who can confirm it disappears. Meanwhile, Lucas may be walking into his own nightmare. After Felicia's advice, Lucas is trying to calm himself, especially when the name of the late Marco gets brought up. I think Lucas is unsettled, and when someone is unsettled in a mansion full of secrets, they start wandering. They start looking. They start noticing things they were never meant to see. And I have a bad feeling Lucas may discover something he absolutely should not. Maybe it's a clue. Maybe it's a hidden connection. Maybe it's proof that someone in that house has been lying all along. But whatever it is, I think it puts Lucas directly in danger. If Lucas is attacked after making a discovery, then that tells me the secret he stumbles onto is not small. It's not gossip. It's not family drama. It's something worth protecting with violence. Then we have Sonny and Rick, and I can already feel the tension boiling over. Rick is expected to explain himself to Sonny, and I think Rick will try to make it sound simple. He may say he's only looking for Ava for personal reasons. He may insist this has nothing to do with Sonny or Sonny's organization. But I don't think Sonny is in the mood for explanations. Sonny hears movement. Sonny hears secrets. Sonny hears the possibility of betrayal. And when Sonny gets that feeling, the room changes. I think Sonny may decide Rick is a threat, or at least someone who needs to be watched closely. There's even a chance Sonny could order Ethan to move against Rick if any betrayal is detected. Again, I'm not saying Sonny definitely makes that call, but the energy around this spoiler feels dangerous. Sonny is making a decision, and when Sonny makes decisions under pressure, somebody usually pays. What I find fascinating is how all these stories may actually be connected by fear. Drew fears Nina's syringe. Nina fears Brennan's blackmail. Valentine fears the plan may fail. Carly fears for Jocelyn. Dante fears the truth about Rocco. Fake Nathan fears exposure. Lucas fears what he may have found. Sonny fears betrayal. Everybody is reacting. Nobody is fully in control. And that is exactly when Port Charles becomes explosive. Here's my biggest theory going into Monday. The fake Nathan may not just be trying to cover up one crime. I think he may be part of a much larger deception, and Jocelyn's kidnapping could be the mistake that finally brings everything crashing down. Because the moment Carly starts looking, the moment Dante starts comparing evidence, the moment Lucas notices the wrong thing, the entire lie starts collapsing from different directions. And if Rocco leaves town before Dante can test his blood, then I think the next phase becomes a desperate search. Not just for Rocco, for Jocelyn, for the truth, for the person hiding behind Nathan's face. But the scariest part is this. If fake Nathan realizes the circle is tightening, I don't think he runs quietly. I think he escalates. So Monday, May 11, may not give us all the answers. I think it gives us something better. A warning. A fuse being lit. A final moment before the explosion. Because Drew may be drugged again. Nina may make a ruthless move against Brennan. Valentine may step into a trap. Carly may chase a lead that puts her closer to Jocelyn. Lucas may discover something deadly.